Coming to you live from the coolest planet out of all the other 9 in the solar system, because fuck off! Pluto fucking counts! It's time for Destiny Down Under.
Episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast. As every week, I'm Uncle Flog Power Slave, joined by Mylan. I don't talk to anyone anymore because I'm doing my PhD games. And this week, a very special guest, all the way from the other side of the literal fucking earth, where it's winter and cold, representing the people of the north. Pijinnn, how you going, mate?
What's up, man? I was wondering what you were going to introduce me with there. I was scared, but that was smoothly operated, man.
How tall are you, Pijinnn?
700 feet tall.
6'2". But for the guys in chat there, I am 11 tall. Just 11 tall.
11 tall.
Because you could be that Ranger from Game of Thrones. I reckon.
Are you talking about the big guy with the long fluffy and the club?
Yeah, if you had red hair, like you got the red beard, but if you had red hair, you'd be spitting image, I reckon.
Dude,
just a big hulking wildling, not fucking Hodor, Chad, you idiots.
If anyone's Hodor in this call, it's quite clearly me.
This smexy Ranger, you know what I'm talking about. Cheap Hagrid.
Cheap Hagrid.
Oh, well, anyway, we look forward to meeting Pijinnn in person when Matt and I inevitably get banished to the fucking wall. We're going to call it Night's Watch, or whatever it is. Fuck, I haven't thought about Game of Thrones for a long time. It's been sad. I wonder when they're going to bring that shit back. There's got to be a new season in the works, surely. Too much money tied up in it not to. Anyway, dudes, fucking let's not talk about Game of Thrones or Anthem or Cyberpunk or any of the shit that they're talking about in our chat. We're here to talk about Destiny and more specifically Pidge, but we'll do the quick round the grounds as we always do. Maddie, how's your week been buried in books?
You know, I've just had this revelation. And it makes me very happy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the live service model to my PhD. So I'm going to submit my PhD completely dog shit, buggy, grammatically incorrect, and just hope that I've got 6 to 12 months to actually fix it up to make it a decent product.
Just don't launch it on current gen consoles. Right? Suboptimal PhDs. Oh, dude. So how you doing with it? You kicking goals or you just feel like you're drowning?
I've like almost written, by the end of today, I think I would have written an entire article from like interviewed to analysis to like draft article 6,000 words in like under a week or something.
Wow.
Jesus fucking
Like,
Christ.
I'm actually impressed at how committed to not doing anything else with your PhD stuff this week has been, because I have not got that willpower for any amount of like coursework or planning. It's like, and then, Destiny.
Just if the thing is, just leave everything to the last minute and just be absolute batshit terrified, and it's a great motivator. It really is.
You and me,
fear of imminent failure is a great motivator.
Yeah, but it's like one of those. I don't know if you've been in that position where it's just like you look at how much time you've got left, and you know there's no procrastination room. Like your mouse would go over to just open up Twitter. And you're like, no, no. You're like quick on Twitter. You're like, no.
I've never been in a situation like that. At least not like since all of this side of my life came along.
I did the same thing.
I can't imagine I'd be so shit at it. I'd be so fucked at trying to get anything productive done. Like, honestly, I reckon I could churn out a song every fucking 2 weeks if you took me off social media for forever. If social media didn't exist, it'd obviously make a song very hard to promote. But if I just sat here and worked on things instead of fucking around, 2 weeks, easy. Now it's once every 6 months.
Where I do this thing where there's like I've got all my bookmark tabs, and then I sit down to do uni work, and somehow Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch all get open first, and then the actual coursework tabs.
Dude, you know, it's honestly like frightening how much your attention span has been changed by social media. If you put on a timer, right, and sit down to do some work, whether it's like writing a song log or doing whatever you need to do, I reckon you won't get past 15 minutes before you instinctively try to open up a tab, check your phone, and it's like, it's fucking insane. And when you do an hour of solid work, you're like, holy shit, you get heaps of stuff done.
Yeah, no wonder they figured all this shit out like in the 1700s when they didn't have any of this garbage. They were just like there writing garbage down, you know, like evolution and all that. Like no one would be bothered figuring that shit out today. Everyone would be like, I don't know, who we cancelling today, boys? Let's go. Jump on it. Oh, I'm too busy fucking retweeting cyberpunk memes or whatever. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's the doom of our species. Maybe it's the true sign of the end times that no one can even be bothered to concentrate on anything anymore. But here we are.
Yeah.
What we might do before we get into talking about Destiny, we need to get our guest Pidge to introduce himself on his own terms rather than Matt just calling him fucking Tormund from Game of Thrones. I feel like that was, like it was kind of on brand.
As a compliment, though.
Yeah, dude, impressive man nonetheless. But still, I feel like.
Yes.
For those who haven't met you before, who are maybe just hearing your voice or whatever, can you sum up what Pijinnn is about in your own words?
I've done this so many times, and honestly, I never get it the way I want it to be, so I'm going to try. For those that don't know me, I am a hyperactive Scotsman with a beard. I love Destiny. I just carry on consistently 24/7, and you'll probably find me on Twitter endlessly tweeting away all the rubbish of the day for Destiny-related content. What's a beard? That's the best I can do now.
That's pretty, I don't know. I feel like it was pretty succinct. Succinct? I don't know. What's that word, Matt?
I feel like in an alternative timeline, where Log has influenced me to join the dark side, you would get Pijinnn. Because he sounds like he's on Twitter causing a fuss, fucking screaming into the void. Even looks a little bit like me. Like, that's my dark version.
Oh, it goes way further than that. He plays guitar.
I'm watching your Scottish Alt Ego. I'm still standing by being your Scottish Alt Ego, Matt. Like, for real. I'll use that as a selling point, man. I'm like, I'm a Myland Games Scottish Alt Ego. Check me out.
Do you abuse your audience? Do you like tell them to fuck off, and you're just generally nasty to them? Because that's the thing that doesn't come across in Matt's lore videos, is just that he can be really snarky.
Luckily, I've not met snarky, Matt.
Just hang around for long enough. You will get him a little bit fired up. I feel like it might be a little bit easier right now with all the PhD goings on to fucking just to prod him a little bit. But dude, So, Pidge, what if people turn up to your stream, what can they expect? What are you normally doing in Destiny, and how can people get involved with what you do?
Sure, like honestly, if you turn up to one of my streams, I literally just want to entertain you, reinforce how much you perhaps either love the game or love hate as we all do, and kind of get you back on par with the enjoyment side of like playing Destiny. And I do a bit of everything like raids, PV, PvP when I'm not fucking like logged out yet. Shit. You just know the story. We'll get into that. But, yeah, like everything.
Tell the people. It's fine. Tell the people.
It's fine, right? Well, a lot of you's already know this in chat, but I unfortunately got a restriction from PvP for having funky internet issues over the past few weeks. So people say I'm hacking 2 weeks for being a laggy boy. So trying to get by it. And
he's a very laggy boy.
Laggy boy. I'll tell you what lag is. Going on a Discord call with two mad Aussies, like that's the lag is real. The ping is real.
We know the lag, man. We were born in it.
You merely adopted it. We're in fucking Australia.
It's like whenever we're playing, I don't know. I mean, I was playing fucking the new Freelance Line banner on Wednesday night and not having a great time of it, going like, geez, the connections are just fucked. And then I like remember, oh, I'm Australian and like this is always the way it is. This is normally indicative of just any like fucking playlist where the population isn't super high. It is like that all the time. But it's,
we were talking about buying houses or renting houses depending on their internet speeds. Like when I was renting, we would bring up maps of like the infrastructure to see where the closest node was, to make sure that we weren't going to get like routed super far away and could have, you know, better speeds. And yeah, I was saying I bought this house based on its internet, which was written into our fucking contract.
Can you imagine the person who came in like with a contract in hand and just loaded up fucking Ookla or whatever it is to do the speed test of like, oh dude, fuck.
And the real estate agent was such a was such a cunt. Like he was dry, like just a typical. I'm sorry if you're a real estate agent and you're a nice person, but if you wrote a fucking Hollywood movie script, he drove a fucking convertible Mustang, was just the most arrogant piece of shit, divorced fucking no hope ever, right? And I'm trying to explain to him what YouTube is and how that's my fucking job. And if the internet doesn't fucking work good, it's like me not having a fucking job. And just that conversation was so painful. But bless Danny's cotton socks. You know, Danny's got a law degree and a politics degree. She it's so fun. Whenever we do this shit, everyone looks to me because it's fucking basically sexist, inherent sexism. I just go, fuck, you're looking at the wrong person, my friend. And then Danny, whack, just like slams him down. We need this. This is what needs to happen. It was not in there. It's not happening. You know, so fucking $500,000 contract buying a fucking house based on how good the up speed and down speed is.
I reckon it should be something that should be like, they should have to fucking disclose that shit. I reckon
And
it
then
should
at
be
the
part of
end
buying
of
a
it-
fucking house.
And then at the end of it, the guy was like, "Oh yeah, he's a gamer. He plays World of Warcraft." Like, if you told me that at the beginning, I wouldn't have been fucking concerned. You dumb shit.
The guy
I would
that
have
was
just
selling the
asked
house.
that guy.
The guy that was,
Yes.
just give me his fucking
Exactly.
Twitter handle and fucking, I'll DM him on Blizzard. Oi, is your internet good or fucked, mate? No, it's good, sweet. Cheers. That's it. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Honestly,
lucky.
absolute
I can
killer.
walk out the front of my house and like down one block and it's like, and I mean like one house and the node's there. So I'm lucky. I'm spoiled. I get the full brunt of it. But
Well,
I know
we didn't even know this had HFC. This had hybrid fiber, and it wasn't even noted.
For real?
On the
fucking-
I didn't know until we did the inspection for the internet. I'm like, all right, well, where's the port or whatever it is? It's like, it's this thing. I was like, that's cable, motherfucker. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
And then Matt threw
Yeah,
$500,000
like horror
at the
stories.
dude's face and told him to get out. It's mine now.
I literally went from like top tier broadband in my old place, moved here, and like I said, I'd done the speed test. I was like, right, cool. Not even before I got here. I was like, done the like the postcode check and that, and it said you can get this, you can get that, and I was like, cool, that's like the same package I'm on. Moved in and then phoned them up. I was like, right, I'm here, and they're like, we need to downgrade our package to like copper wire. I was devastated. But like I said, like I do everything through a 4G box, which might have been part of the problem, but it literally lets me do everything: Discord, streaming, music,
Mate,
YouTube, the lot.
I'd have never have guessed that. Like your streams are pretty fucking solid. Like as solid as anyone else's.
It's just the stability sometimes with 4G. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's probably what kicked my butt in with 1G. So, but
Yeah.
we're getting through it.
Dude, just wait till 5G. I don't really know a huge amount about 5G apart from it. No,
Matt was gonna pinch my joke and say that it gives you COVID, but we won't joke about that. Look, Matt, what you can do is you just gotta buy like specific fucking crystals, and then it's okay.
Oh,
Crystals keep you
right.
safe, man. Yeah, I'll send you some.
Keep you safe.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, 5G is going to make the entire Australian infrastructure obsolete instantly.
Yeah. And we only spend billions of dollars on it. We're a smart lot of people, aren't we? Fucking hell. Anyway,
everyone's just like, don't worry about Australia. They ain't hurting anybody. Let them do fucking whatever they want.
Yeah.
He's in the future, but he's aren't really in the future, is what you're telling me right now.
Oh, we're a day ahead, but it's 1985. That's the catch.
Yeah, it's like Back to the Future, you know? You can go back to the past.
Yeah, and anyone here is like trying to just get to the future, like desperately, like fucking, where is the DeLorean? Get me the fuck back to civilization. That's basically what's happening. Oh, all right. Well, good. I'm glad we do. The other thing about Pidge plays guitar and he's fucking good at it. So if you turn up to my shit because you like the guitar, go and watch Pidge because he's fucking, I don't know. I mean, he's definitely got me covered in rhythm chops. He's pretty fucking solid. He won't admit it. He'll sit there and be like, "No," but he definitely does.
Okay, hold on a second.
I'm just waiting on the big collab with Log. That's something that's a long time coming. So
yeah, I don't know. It's probably not going to be what people expect it to be, though. I think that's the best thing about it.
Exactly.
It's like, yes, all these metal dudes. Yes.
Do you want to tell me what my most recent idea is, right? I don't know if you've played Destiny and bought the DJ deck emote, right?
Yeah, of course. It's the only one that makes a sound. It makes music.
Exactly. Right. So my current idea, right, is to sample that, put it on a loop, and then write a song over the top of that flat beat. Just building
That's a great
up.
idea.
Like that would just be ridiculous. Just be hilarious. Just using that. Yeah,
Yep.
That's just how my brain works, man.
Yeah, it's how my brain works
for
as
ideas
well.
like
It's
that.
like a dog chasing cars. It's a miracle if I ever see anything through to fruition because I fucking just get so sidetracked by things. Maddie, what were you saying?
I've just realized Pigeon isn't a fucking dark version of me. He's like our devil offspring. He's like if you merged me with Log, you'd get Pigeon. He's a fucking Pokey evolution. He's a fucking Destiny evolution of us.
I don't know whether we want to fuck, like, that's a pretty crushing indictment.
Hey guys, my name's actually Pigeon. My name's actually Mylan Power Slave. It's nice to meet you all.
I don't know. I mean, like, all my mum's family is Scottish. There was, Pigeon and I aren't fucking, we're a generation off living in the same city, so we're not too different in that respect.
Something
But
like that.
yeah, if that.
I actually do have family rooted in Australia, so it was always a dream to like visit and stuff. So if it ever happens, I know exactly who I'm getting in touch with. Don't you worry.
You need to figure out where they are. There's only like 30 people live here, man. I'll probably know them anyway. It's fucking sweet. Me and Matt are just the entirety of the Australian Destiny playing population. Yeah, we're all a million miles apart though. Matt lives on the opposite side of the fucking country to me. All right, well, what we can do now is jump into talking about Destiny. You know that thing that we do.
I know. This is what happened. We just got chatting, but we didn't actually ask Pigeon like the lore of Pigeon, the origin story.
Oh yeah, this is Matt's deal.
We can do a quick like, how did you get to this streaming life? And yeah, and because you're not streaming full time, are you? Or
pretty much, like we're on the verge of hitting full time. Just needs a wee bit more like breathing space, sort of comfort room, like bumper.
So are you working outside of Twitch, or is this it? Yeah,
I work in a pizza place, man, part time outside. Right. But because of the ups and downs, we're in like we're in a tier system just now, where a certain tier I don't report for work, whereas other tiers I'll report for work for certain duties.
All right, because of COVID and lockdowns and all that sort of stuff. That's how they manage
right.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I didn't know. All right. Okay. Just tell us. How long you've been doing it? How'd you get into it? And what's the plan?
I actually just posted a thread on Twitter with this, so I think I can do like the condensed version again. But I started last year in my old place. I was like a PS4 streamer. I don't know if anyone out in chat's tried like PS4 stream with camera and that's your headset mic. That's what I did for like 6 months. January through July. Yeah, like 5 or 6 months last year. And then I moved to this place, and that's when everything came crashing down because of the internet situation. I just wanted to show everyone how much I love Destiny. That was like the bottom line. I'd been obsessing over it for years. I was like, I just want to stream it and just like make sure everyone can see how much I love playing this game and how much like I know about it, that sort of thing. But anyway, I moved and the internet situation just conked out my whole streaming plan. But instead, I took to Twitter for 8 months while I moved into the new place. And Twitter was just like my home. Like, I don't even know, like people chance meetings like log, like somehow falling back, and then it's another person in your timeline that you see out there who's like part of the wider Destiny community. So come January, February this year, I found out about the 4G box thing, and I literally phoned my ISP, got the upgrade that I wanted, got the 4G box in, and I did a test stream sometime about February, and I was literally back. I don't know how else to put it. I was back. I tweeted it out. I'd met countless people across the community, and I had the busiest stream of my life. Like all these people I'd met through Twitter came on and started like hanging out in my streams. And like someone, I always remember someone saying that I built my community away from Twitch before I came back to Twitch, which was kind of like for me a success story. Fast forward 6-7 months, we got the PC. And I took it to the next level, and I guess here I am, crossing paths with, well, there's Matt as well, and goodness knows how many other streamers and stuff.
That's huge. That's probably the quickest
massive,
Twitch like growth we've probably had on as a guest, I would say. I sort of hate you. It's taken me fucking 6 years to get here. Yeah,
you had like 2 years off. You had 2 years off or whatever it was, where you were like, I don't want to do streaming, and I was just yelling at you for 2 years.
Let's be honest.
Gave in.
See that bit that I glossed over, the 6-7 months, that was lockdown. That was me being able to go into furlough and just push live every day, 7 days a week, and like just go for it.
Yeah, in that context, it's been a game changer. Hey, like I mean, I worked all the way through. It didn't really have much of an impact on Matty's life in terms of like his day-to-day living. But there's been so many people that I've seen that have been in your situation that are like, well, I've been put in this situation where I've got time that I normally wouldn't have, and I normally wouldn't have the ability to do that. And it's either like one way or another going, no, I'm going to fucking knuckle down and chase this dream that I've got. And fuck, man, like credit to you. You've done it, and you're kicking the shit out of it. I don't know. I enjoy, I lurk in a lot of streams. I lurk a lot in streams, and I lurk in yours whenever I can. And it's just like the fucking time zones are just brutal. But often I'm at work.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Just cruising along. And I just think that like there's some people that you come across and I like, not to blow Matty's horn, but Matty is this sort of person, and he probably didn't realize it until he started doing just chatting streams. But there's people that you come across that are literally born to do this shit, and I think you're one of those people. Like you just have that innate ability to take whatever's happening and make it fucking hilarious, or like I don't know, you just have the I think it's a spirit thing, right? Like I mean, obviously there's so many different sort of types of streamers and whatever in the Destiny community. You've got your guys who are super sweaty PvP players. You've got your guys who are, you know, like the glads of the community. They're up there PvE stuff, like obliterating it, and like even domestically, like the guys like AO and Soto and that we had on the other week. Like when I see my people on Twitch, they're the people who turn up and go, I'm not really fucking sure what I'm doing, but I'm gonna have a fucking great time doing it. And I think that's the thing. That's like I don't know. And it's always been there with your fucking stuff. If I think it was like Crown was the first stream of yours that I ever jumped into, and it was because I was like, no, I'm not running Crown. I'm just gonna put a tweet out, and if you're fucking running it, I'll swing past. So I'll just sit here and watch streams all day. And I think that you were like, oh, you swing past my stream or something like that. And I went, that was when I first encountered you. And then from then it's just been awesome to watch you go away and build this shit up and just be yourself. And I think that's fucking excellent. Also, I'm completely biased because you're a metalhead and you play guitar. So it's
Thanks, dude. I totally agree. Like that flair for entertainment, like I see it in you as well, dude, and I see it in Matt. Like I actually hadn't checked Matt out on Twitch like till recently, and obviously you were kind enough to introduce me to Matt. And then when I checked out his stream, I'm just sitting there buckled, and it's always the same in your stream. You're just sitting there like, I don't know who else you like game with, but the people you game with just bring out the best in you, and that's always amazing to see. So Back at you, Log.
That's one of those things.
Thanks for good words, man.
No, any time, dude. I don't know. I'm that's the way I approach it. Like I'm not streaming for any particular goal or anything like that, right? Like I'll do what I do, and I get on to be social and play with my mates, and then I broadcast that because I end up like going to bed with fucking sore sides because I've been laughing for 5 hours. So I figure that, if we like that, then it might as well be something we broadcast. Matt, on the other hand, sits in his room and just yells at his audience and loses his fucking mind over marbles. Actually, I haven't heard anyone scream in like a week and a half, and there's been no
I saw it on Matt's channel earlier, and I looked at the rules section, and I actually hadn't even seen it before, and I was buckled. It was literally, don't be a D-head, and then it says, to get unbanned, you have to write like a 5,000 word lore chapter. I'm like, that is genius. That is just Matt to the T, like, it's golden, man.
There's got to be so many people that come into your stream, though, and go like, this can't be the same guy. Surely this fucking idiot has just stolen the Lore Master's name and is co-opting it.
Yeah, it is a bit tough sometimes to get people to buck. It's very abrasive to what they're used to in the YouTube videos.
I feel like we could go like the intermediary step is probably like, okay, well, there's Matt's Lore channel, and then there's the podcast in the middle, which is kind of like, at least there's a structure and some lore, and then there's like Matt's fucking stream, which is just easy game for babies and yelling out and all.
Do you know, I was thinking, because I was thinking about this today, actually over the last week, and I feel like there's a couple different types of streamers, and I know which one I want to be now. And there are people you can have on in the background and be relatively productive. You can have them turned down, and you just sort of want to chill and see what they're up to. And there's other people that are just so batshit engaging, you're like, fuck you, and you have to close the stream down, right? And that's what I aim for. And I think Pijinnn does that too. It's like, when I've hosted, I was like, nah, dude, I can't fucking be here because you're too engaging. I need to close your stream and like do work. Whereas other people, they're just playing the game, and you might look over every now and then, they got like a drop or whatever, or doing a raid, and you can lurk. I aim to be like unlurkable. That's so fucking annoying to have in the background, and you're like, nah, dude, I gotta close this down. It's too distracting.
You're well and truly already there. That day that you were playing COD and you were just in the public fucking voice chat, just causing trouble. just barking commands and all that. Right, I'm sitting at my desk at work. I can't even see the stream, right? Like, I've just got it on headphones. I'm just listening, and I'm like head down on my desk. My boss comes over and like, thought someone in my family had fucking died because I just had my head down on the desk sobbing. I'm like, I don't know. That's what I love that shit. I love fucking, I don't know. I'm in everything for a laugh anyway. I guess it's who I am, but it's, that's it. Well, there you go. We've all fucking fluffed each other up.
Origin story.
Beautiful. So there you go.
Actually, it wasn't really. He's so perfect for the podcast. I didn't even fucking answer the question, you dumb cunt. How did you start? How did you start? When? Why? COVID.
Right.
What was the motivation?
So it did start as just
because you wanted to give me up Destiny.
Yeah, but it's became way more serious this past year, and like 2021 coming up, like it's been the most insane year. I think we can push for a partner this year. I think we can push for more orgs and sponsorships and stuff, like going forward for the platform. So, and I always like offer up commentary on Twitter. So,
was it Artesian through the week that you announced?
We announced Artesian builds. We announced fucking gamer subs as well. One that I've been pushing for months now.
Yeah, fuck
exclamation mark GG and match up, by the way, guys. Get yourself a different way code Pijinnn at checkout. Something I never thought I'd actually be able to have, so pretty buzzing.
No.
Shameless plug.
No, it's all right. It's only $350 a second for plugs, so we'll get you after this.
Excellent. Okay. You can invoice me. But like, see if I was going really far back, like I picked up Destiny the same day I picked up Bloodborne. I bought them both pre-owned at the local game store. I took them home. I put in Destiny. and it hit me with a big mega update, so I couldn't play it that day. I was like, right, cool, whatever. Put in Bloodborne, played that for about 10 minutes, got raging. I was like, right, cool, that was a wasted shopping trip. The next day, I put Destiny on for the first time. This is around about what would have been year 2.5 for Destiny 1 at the time, on PS4. And I literally like came from like an RPG. Like I loved Final Fantasy back in the day. That was like my main RPG game. I played Call of Duty as well, which was first-person shooter. And like the moment I loaded up Destiny, I pulled the trigger on the gun. I was like, I freaking love this. Like the reaction, like the vibrate function on the controller. I'd always wanted something like Halo for PlayStation, and it just ticked my boxes. I saw the damage numbers on an enemy. I was like, holy fuck, what is it? What is going on here? And something just clicked straight away. That's kind of where the Destiny origin kicks in. And I was sheltered because a bunch of guys I had, like I was pals with in real life, had on PSN, and one of them messaged me like a couple of days later saying, "Oh, you're playing Destiny? You want me to come hang with you?" I was like, "Cool." And I'd reached the Black Garden mission in vanilla Destiny, and he joined in with me, and I'd never experienced like a fire team style cooperation with someone on voice chat and stuff. That blew my mind at the time. All I really had was Call of Duty, and it would be a wee Bluetooth earpiece sitting playing, and I was going, "Aye, cool," just shouting abuse at each other, whatever. And then instead, I'm in a voice chat, like actually collaborating. So that stuff blew my mind. Did my first raids eventually, and well, it just kicked off of there, man. It was an absolute like collision course.
Once it gets in your fucking bones, it's in your bones. You can't.
Yes,
you can't get it out. You can't get it out, no matter what happens. I think we're all
on my skin, dude.
Yeah, dude. Commitment. That's commitment. It'll be there when you're like a grandfather. Yeah, here's my ghost. Kids be like, what the fuck's he on about?
Here's my login details for Destiny.
They fucking blow the dust off the old PC.
They'll literally be living in like fucking cyberpunk by then. 2077, it'll be fucking
the Destiny VR on a fucking treadmill, on a 360 treadmill with weighted weapons.
Sounds like such a lot of effort.
Destiny 20 immersive 3D experience in a Zorb ball flipping.
In a Zorb ball?
I don't know, just a big ball rolling about like a hamster.
Imagine getting fucking, but like imagine you're in the Zorb ball, right? And it's got feedback and someone like fucking Fist of Havoc's you and you just get, I need that. That'd be great.
We're just waiting for them to like really tap into the brain, so you don't actually have to move, but you think you're moving.
Yeah, so
that's when this shit's gonna change. Yeah, Matrix style or whatever.
I don't know that I want people fucking hacking into my brain. I'm fine with things going in. I'm not sure anyone wants anything coming out of my brain. Be like, dump it, end the internet. That's it. That's enough. Fucking hell.
Project your inner thoughts, man.
Yeah. All right. Well. How about we actually talk about Destiny? What do you reckon?
Yeah, now we've done it.
We're done.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
I'm gonna hit this thing.
I was going to be happy with that, Matt. Like, I hope.
I was look. The fact that I asked for the origin story, then I got a GG game, fucking game us up plug, and then I was like, he's good.
Matt,
this man is a real talent.
I literally just gave you the podcast version of where it started and where it's going, just in the one sentence, man.
Yeah.
Bullet point form.
Nah, it's good.
All right, let's hit this thing and talk some shit. I don't know. That's my favorite part of the podcast, just pushing that one button for 3 seconds where it plays music, the same music that it's played since the inception of the cast. Right. There's a shitload to talk about this week. Probably starting with Joe Blackburn's missive about the future of Destiny and the loot and all of that good stuff. So I think we'll probably just touch on it more in bullet point form than anything too serious. I don't think anyone wants us to read word for word Joe Blackburn's words because you've probably already fucking read it if you're at least half as fucking in love with this game as the rest of us are. So I think the big one that came out of this...
I haven't read it.
Can you stop so eloquently proving my point all the fucking time?
Tell me. What's up?
Can you fucking stop?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Now I need to work out how I'm going to truncate all of this into fucking a few sentences. But basically, they came out and said that they know that the initial reward pool with season of the fucking lure or whatever we call it, season of the hunt, and beyond light is not quite there. And they basically said that they're putting people on to further expand reward pools for future releases. So I think that's something we've spoken about definitely on the podcast before, that it just felt like, all of a sudden we're in a very, very shallow pool. And I hope that it's something that they address pretty quickly. So, right, the more important stuff, where is it down here? There's like a bullet pointy thing. All right, so Transmog will be coming in season 14, which is not next. What season are we in now? 12? I wish they just fucking... Yeah, we're in 12.
Yeah, season 12.
Yeah. So mid next year, we're going to get Transmog. There is a mock-up of how it will work, or like kind of work in this article. So go and get on that. DDoS protection for Destiny 2 players on all consoles will be coming in season 13. So only a couple of months away. It's going to be. I foresee that being super important. I know that it's kind of like, well, we've got hackers on PC. DDoS is still really quite prevalent on console. So anything we can do to make it harder for dickheads to be fucking dickheads. All over it. The Vault of Glass raid returns. Doesn't give a date, but it's over the next year, some point. So I don't know. Do you reckon we're going to, like, obviously they're going to change some things. They're going to have to. I feel like they can't just bring back the raid exactly as it was. And I really hope that they do. But do you think we're going to see like a raid race? Like this is going to be a raid race situation where like, it's like 30 minutes and people blasted through it. Like if they don't change it all that much, everyone fucking like I can remember how to do it. So
I don't think people really consider the old raids coming back as raid races, to be honest.
But still, I mean, you could still have Destiny 2's first clear of Vault of Glass. People are going to give a shit about that.
Yeah, but not hugely.
All right, we should start telling people not to give a shit about it so that we can give a shit about it. Yeah.
It's a tricky one, man. They definitely need to change it like substantially if it's going to be a raid race thing. But if it's just going to be like legacy content, then it's just going to be there you go, there's the raid, go have fun.
Yeah, it's like, I think they're kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't too. It's a dangerous thing because like that raid is the raid for so many people, right? It is the raid, and it was kind of like you fuck with the secret source of something like that too much. Ooh, people are going to get upset. But as Azarius says in chat, if they don't change it at all, Glad will be through it in 6 minutes and it'll be like...
yeah, they'll be like, yay, Vault of Glass, done for the millionth time. Aye.
Yeah.
I honestly think that they just need to do what they did last time, which is make dope armor and update weapons.
Yeah, I think so. I think and then people will just be doing it for fun. And, there's a lot of
nostalgia, fun, and loot.
There's plenty of people too that are around that weren't around for D1. So this will be their first experience at jumping into it. I can't wait. I'm not sure. I haven't put the call out in the clan. I will definitely closer to its release. But anyone who hasn't done it before, I'm not much of a teacher of raids, but I've done that one probably more than I've done any. So I could probably help people through it.
I'd love it if they put like a fun spin on the old stuff that we know, like taking it and bringing it up to like Destiny 2's sort of like potential as far as like the way the game plays and stuff. They could have a lot of fun with it.
I think
I assume the entry is going to be different, right?
It's going to have to. You can't come from fucking Venus, right?
Yeah,
unless they bring back Venus.
I don't know.
So I wonder if there'll be a different vault opening mechanic that could change to get into the vault.
Well, where do we get into a massive? I mean, they could put a fucking big like Stargate door anywhere, and that's how we get in, right? Like that's probably what it'll be.
Yeah.
So,
well, it could be the glassway. They could modify the glassway.
True, because it does just lead through a portal into the fucking Bex Metallurgy
Superforge.
Yeah, Superforge. That was pretty good. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be very interesting to see how it plays out because I love the idea of getting sort of this nostalgic stuff back, but I feel like they've got to do a little bit at least to freshen it up. Otherwise, people are just going to be like, hey, it's recycled content. I mean, they've got to rebuild it from scratch, so they might as well fucking do something different, right?
We got confirmation, Fatebringer, right?
Yeah, we did.
In
yeah,
the,
we
um,
did. Yeah, we did. In the fans call the other week, we did. We
Yeah,
asked Chris
in the
Proctor
dev call.
because this hadn't come out yet, but we did ask because I mean, obviously we've known Vault's coming back for a same. We've known it's coming back for a while now, and we're like, are the weapons for Vault coming back? And he was very coy, and I just repeatedly said Fatebringer and stared at him, and he nodded.
No, he said we've made that mistake before or something, right? And like we're not going to make it again with not bringing stuff back. Or
yeah.
was that conversation?
Yeah, it was. He was, because it was sort of like, I don't know. He didn't specifically directly say that yes, but it was like, yes, people's expectation would clearly be
yes.
that's what they want to get out of it. It was good.
He said they'll be hanged if they didn't bring it back, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Dude, do you know how many videos I've got with fucking just Fatebringer? Like, that's the only gun I ever use in every Destiny lore video was me just fucking wielding Fatebringer.
Yeah, it's
just because it was so snappy and it was so satisfying to have its footage because it was always just like these quick shots, everything just gets blasted, and then you reload, and it's just really satisfying.
Yeah. It's my all-time favorite in the franchise as well. So if it comes back, I'm going to like squee. Really, like.
Did you
ever get fucking
broken?
What's the fusion? Praetorian foil or something?
Yep.
Nope.
Did
you ever get that? That's the only one I didn't get. I think.
I got it. I never used it. It's a fucking fusion, for God's sake.
Do you think they'll bring Icebreaker back? Because wasn't that like a Vault drop?
I don't think so. No, I didn't have its own quest outside of that. I'm pretty sure it did. It was just the one that everyone used to fucking
yeah.
to
I just associate it so I associate Icebreaker so much with Vault the Glass. Like when I think of Vault the Glass, I'm like,
but it was just that it completely trivialized the first encounter.
Icebreaker on top of the conflux, eh? You're the worst person ever. I'm kidding. Look at that face. You can see the guilt in his eyes.
I just remembered the fucking the solar nades from the Warlock and pushing the Templar off the back of the stairs.
Yep. Well, we've all done that, and then they patched it so you couldn't do it. This is our problem, right? As a community, we always find ways to just break and cheese the shit out of things. We're still doing it today. It started with probably the Templar, if not Atheon. I don't know that there was like, can you cheese Atheon? I can't really remember. I don't think there was anything too egregious. I know that you could melt him pretty savagely by the end, just do one phase, but I don't know. I'm really looking forward to getting that back. I think it'll be amazing. And shout out to Addy for the raid. What a legend.
Love you, Addy.
The best. People of the North. The next one is probably the biggest fucking bullet point maybe in Destiny's history, because it is a huge cock on the block moment. I'm not sure if that's a universal statement, but basically fronting up and saying that crossplay will happen in Destiny next calendar year in 2021. There are so many fucking unanswered questions. There are, how's it going to work? All that sort of stuff. But for them to give a concrete date and not just say, yeah, we're working on crossplay, which they could easily have done. I feel like they've got to be well down the path and looking at they know how they're going to do it and why, and I think I hope that it puts an end to a lot of the shit, like the separatist shit that we have of like the PC, the PlayStation, we all play the same game, we all love the same game, and I don't really give a fuck where you play it. Like, who cares? I just want everyone to be able to play together and have it work. I think that'll be incredible. It
is going to be great. I think we'll go through the same motions at every game that has crossplay. That is, controller had too much aim assist and blah 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 and like this and like. But I think in regards to uniting the player base and having game modes that you can go in, like I think it opens up opportunities to have more of that. My only concern with these big changes is the fact that a lot of resources have to go into it, very much like what happened with Beyond Light. And when you have resources going into creating a new subclass, you've got to take resources out of other areas. So it's like we keep getting all these fucking cool, huge, systematic changes, but
Yeah.
you also have to then be like, are we going to have another like content drought? Because
I don't know.
a lot of money has to be
then
channeled into doing this.
You go back to the top of this article where they're saying, look, we're going to literally put more people on so that we make sure that the loot pool is never this skinny again. And you go, well, I don't know that. And I read an article with Pete Parsons probably a week and a half ago now, but saying that they're growing at they've put people on. He's like, I think it was, I don't want to give numbers, but there was a significant portion of their workforce that just by virtue of COVID has never been in the office. That they've expanded that much over this year that it's significant. And like maybe that's just, maybe we're through the worst of it now because they had to take the leap to be on their own, to find out what they did have and didn't have, to figure it all out. And now they're going, okay, well, these are the areas that we need more people in. Cool. Well, we do it.
So let me ask this then.
Yep.
How many more years do you give for them not to make the same mistakes? Primarily surrounding the core loop, which is you do cool shit, you get cool loot, and there's heaps of it. How many more passes do you give Bungie? All right, they've grown, they've separated from Activision now. They've got a huge workforce. Everyone's pushing the right direction. Beyond Light was pretty fucking dope. Bringing it back to the foundation of the game. How many more years do you give to be like, okay, like this is just empty promises now?
I don't know. I think
it's tricky, man. Like,
yeah, I'll let Pidge go and then I'll.
Sorry, I am just like thinking about it as well. The biggest thing with like game development cycles is it does take ages for us as mere mortals, whereas like in game development terms, it is like a quick reaction to how they're dealing with stuff as best they can. So it's always tricky to say how long you're going to take, like how long you're going to give them that slack. Like a good way to look at it is like, I don't know, I consider myself a really neutral player. People would say, oh, it's like live and die by Bungie's decisions, but I actually know when something's going to be frustrating. So like as long as you've got that kind of speculation on the fence, then I think you can always give Bungie that bit of leeway if they're going to be quick to communicate it, and then you can go, right, well, if that's what's coming, I can like make do. But if you're in the camp that's nothing but pure hatred, then I think you're probably just going to ditch it at that point in time. So I think it's just like an opinion.
To answer like without giving a specific 18 more months or whatever, or a number of releases, right? The thing that I would say with all of this, and it's the thing that I've taken out of Beyond Light, and it's the thing that that I will look to in future releases, even seasonal releases, as much as they're not going to be big, grandstand events like as yearly releases. There are a lot of things in Beyond Light that none of us saw coming, that are smart and that engage people in content that, for the most part, were just gathering dust, actually using the shit that was already in the game. First and foremost being farming lost sectors for exotics. That in and of itself,
that was awesome.
That in and of itself is like, look, okay, maybe it's going to take them another year. Maybe it's going to take them another 2 years to get this game to like its absolute pinnacle. But if every time they iterate upon the game, there's an improvement like that shows not only are they thinking about it from what we want, but giving us shit that no one really even thought of yet and went, oh, okay, here's the idea, here's this, here's that. Obviously, the things in terms of like the balancing of whatever. I mean, look at where Warlock is right now. It's been nerfed and brought back up again in the space of fucking a month. So that would have been 6 months back in the day. It would have been, oh, okay, cool. We waited 6 months to nerf the fucking shit out of this podcast, and now it's back. And we've adjusted it. I feel like while I couldn't say, oh, they've got to get it right on the next one, or I'm gonna fuck off, because I won't. I think I can say that we've definitely been through the driest periods in Destiny's history. I feel like, and speaking of damage on both the call and looking at the way that he's conducting things over since Deej's departure, and it's not a slight on Deej, but just I've paid more attention to it since then because things have changed. They're very transparent. they're, you know, getting in fucking literal video calls with people and willing to talk about shit. And I think that we are getting. Something's changed. Like that's what I am. As long as it feels like something is changing and something is driving forward, I'm going to sit here and like look. I think a lot of people assume that we just kind of we just here to cheerlead Bungie and we're not. I think Matt and I are both very neutral. We just don't get involved in like the echo chamber shit that people scream about. So like to sit here and say, true. You know, like we'll call shit. And we have done, and we will continue to do so.
Yeah.
As long as they keep the ball rolling with respect to like momentum and doing the things they say they do, like okay, like the loot pool for the next big release needs to be fucking good. Even the later like seasonal releases, there needs to be a significant improvement in that. If that's the sort of stuff that's happening, if they're refining activities, if they're fucking giving things a place, like I want to see that lost sector thing. I want that everywhere. I think that's an incredible idea. As long as things like that are happening. Yeah, but
here's the thing, right?
Then I go, okay, well, cool. Crossplay is a fucking enormous deal for a game. It's huge. It's the biggest hurdle in modern day gaming, and they're talking about reverse engineering it into a game that's fucking nearly 4 years old. Right? Like, so that's a pretty fucking mean feat in and of itself. So to do that, have there be no barriers, but doing, you know, play with your friends irrespective of where they are anywhere and be iterating and making the content better. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty happy now, to be honest. With the exception of the light loot pool, I'm pretty happy. What do you think, Matty? You've got what's your take?
Okay, so
I've given you 5 minutes to
the lost sectors, right? You went on a fucking tear. The lost sectors, right? Amazing. That has been my favorite type of content in Destiny in a long time.
Yep.
Not only because it suits my style of streaming, because I can do it solo and people can make fun of me and we can talk like I just feel like it has that balance of difficulty and learning and tactics that I really got from playing Halo. And I think it's almost the closest experience you can get to a Halo gunplay in Destiny. And I think that is part of the magic of Bungie. But it is only as good as the loot you got at the end of it. And the reason why those lost sectors were so good and the Empire Strikes was because you got Cloud Strike and they had exotics tied to them all. Yeah. And once you've got them all, what's the motivation to get back in there? Unless they start bumping up the resources or the stat roll gear is actually pretty nice too. So like they've got to have that stuff there. So it's not just about like you say, it's not just about reinventing who they are and the activities that are introduced. And I think that whole solo lost sector idea is just the absolute perfect home for lost sectors. That was such an underutilized area of the game. Lost sectors have always been beautiful. They've always been, you know, just a great
designed,
space,
like bespoke.
but you never had any fucking reason apart from goblining your fucking light level and smashing bounties, right? So they have a really good spot now. But if I don't, and you know, we spoke to the guys about how long it takes to make an exotic. So it takes what, 3 months or something to make an exotic?
It was like half the production time of a season is to make an exotic, and they generally make like 2 or you know, like there's numerous.
And there was the Lost Sectors had 2 exotics per class, so that's 6 exotics plus Cloud Strike.
Yeah, so
that's already.
But that's the other thing. We've spoken about this briefly, Matty, in that like the Destiny is at its best when you can identify what you want and go after it. And I think that like while this is like a toe in the water of okay, well if we tell people if they do this fucking you know, this lost sector on this day at this difficulty level by themselves, they're at a heaps higher chance of getting a drop. It doesn't need to be a fucking exotic because exotics in Destiny, they're like their sauce on top. The meat and bones of Destiny is fucking legendary weapons and trying to get good rolls on legendary weapons. So I find I would have no issue with them at all going next season. Look, there's only 2 new exotics. Maybe they're tied in doing a fucking strike by yourself. But now you can go and say, okay, well it's fucking 120 hand cannon day on fucking X lost sector. Yeah. Go and farm it because people will be all over that shit. Like that's
the common denominator for all that stuff is replayability. It's going into a gameplay loop that you can engage with because you're going to maybe get something. Obviously, ING is a bit of a pain in the butt for that, but like that desire, like you said, that desire to go, hey, I want to chase this today. That's the replayability factor, and using assets like Lost Sectors was like Matt said, just genius, because you can just go, oh right, I'm doing that today. That's exactly what I'm doing. My playtime has came up to do this insert activity here. So the more they do give us stuff to chase after, the better.
But I don't even think they need to limit it to that.
Definitely, and
I don't even think they need to limit it to Lost Sectors. Like, I reckon they could do it with just about every fucking playlist in the game and go, okay,
yeah, exactly,
well,
man.
Today, if you play Control, we're dropping fucking, I don't know, pulse rifle. I don't know, probably not pulse rifles. No one would fucking care, but shotguns or something. It doesn't matter. From this archetype, and break it down by archetype, and these are the guns that you're potentially going to get. I'll be all over it.
Yeah, but that's just fucking a vendor reset. How long have we been asking for that?
True, and I think
long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason why I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here is
fine.
I've been a bit snark. No, it's not about this. It's about
it's PhD, PhD
so,
demons.
PhD demons, right? Beyond Light was a great release. Yep. Okay, and I honestly believe that, and it's the most I've played Destiny for a long time. And the reason I'm trying to play devil's advocate is because I think about, okay, a year when we get to cross-platform, are we going to get the same thing? Oh, look, there's not much loot in this release because cross-platform is fucking heaps hard, and we're going to put a lot of effort into that. But you get this new shiny thing, which is cross-platform, but we haven't taken care of the core complaint
core issue
that's been in Destiny for a long time.
I think you get to that point, you're well entitled to just flip a fucking table and be like, why? Like, you acknowledged this a year ago.
But this is like, this is the thing that I have, like, the Destiny community where it is now, like, they'll complain about it, but they'll still play it. So it's never real. It's not, like, I think all the people most of the people have left who have had an issue with this thing, with this sort of complaint over the longest period of time have gone. And just complaining is not enough because people are still playing the game. Bungie's like, well, it's not high on the priority list, right?
I think for them to come out and acknowledge it, basically, like it was the meat and bones of that release from Joe. I think for them to come out and say, hey, we understand the loot pool's skinny. This is what we're doing. This is how we're going to address it. And here's all these other things we're doing as well. I think just off the back of that, you have to take at face value that they're going to address it, right? Like that was a release made solely about that. So maybe, there are other issues in Destiny, don't get me wrong. I mean, we can go into like the connection based stuff and how that works, or, there's a plethora of things that need to be ultimately addressed for Destiny to get to its best possible state. But I feel like the loot issue is the biggest one with this release, and I feel like they'll address it. I don't think we're going to be here again. They've done it in the past. They've done it with Forsaken. I think that we can probably, a reasonable expectation is maybe not to that level, but we're going to get more guns next time around. I don't think that'll that we'll be in this situation again. And I hope fucking next season, honestly, there's some stuff done to alleviate it. Because, man, like for me to go, okay, I'm really enjoying playing with 120 hand cannons, but I love my Astral Horizon, and there is not even a fucking 120 that I can put in the second slot that I care about. I don't know. It feels weird. It's probably the first time in Destiny's history I've ever been put in a position like that because, historically I could just go and dig out one of the other ones. I think it's like Annual Skate or whatever that's the secondary slot, or one of those. I would have found something where now I just can't. It's just you just can't. So
you felt the pinch.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people are feeling the same. So it is what it is. I think they'll address it. Fucking very good little yarn, though. I'm happy we had this conversation, man. Even if you had,
I feel like I've been too negative, and I've taken out the stresses on the community. But
you're allowed to do that. No, I mean that's it. We've got to be fucking real about it, right? Like you got to be, we're not here to just fucking. I don't know. It's not Iron Banner last night with me with 6 mates just padding stats. We're here to actually talk about things. So. It's happening.
Yeah, it's obviously the biggest concern right now, and I just hope that with all that talk of new employees and all this kind of stuff, it's not just the back end changing and improving, because that makes functionally a difference in people's lives, but the enjoyment of the game comes from those core components. And Destiny needs to be a loot and shooter, and if it doesn't have loot right now, it's just a shooter.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's basically Halo, because that's where we're at with the loot pool.
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
All right, so the last 2 bullet points. The Fallen Saber and Devil's Lair strikes will be returning in Season 13. So 2 reprised strikes, both in the Cosmodrome. Devil's Lair, I wonder if we're going to get the awesome bulb version of the theme, the former DDU one that Misha Mansour did. I think Katie did a fucking... It's the most palm muted fucking thing of all time. And Legendary and Master Lost Sector rotation will be expanded to include the Lost Sectors on the moon in Season 13, and there will be 3 new pieces of exotic armor to chase. So clearly doubling down on that little gameplay loop there. And I'll pull this up. There we are. This is the mock-up of what we're talking about with the appearance management, more or less transmog system. So I imagine that is your actual armor. That's your shader, obviously, and then your appearance over here. So really looking forward to getting my hands on this, man. I miss my fucking prodigal helm already. I'm just gonna go and cry. All right, now we can jump into the actual TWAB. It's nice. That was important, I think, to get through that. All right, so the big thing in the TWAB this week is that the Dawning starts at reset this week. The Dawning, the annual celebration of Bungie just paying homage to Australian top-tier air conditioning during the summer. There's fucking snow everywhere. That's what it's like in this room right now. It's 35 degrees outside. It's fucking 18 in here. I'm shivering. It's cold as fuck. It's beautiful. I don't know. I always get to the Dawning and I'm like, for whatever reason, the Halloween one I'd never really get hyped for it, but the Dawning, there's just that little bit more, like 10% more wholesomeness of just going around giving people cookies, and it kind of gets me over the line with it. I know that last year it was an enormous fucking way of like hitting, doing the bounties were just super lucrative for like Bright Dust and whatever. So there'll probably be some fucking little mechanic in here that you'll be wanting to pay attention to. Keep your eye on Reddit. There'll be some exploit of this fucking the oven in some capacity. There always is. But it's I don't know. I mean, the Dawning. I mean, Matt, you probably won't even get to play it. You'll just get to live vicariously through friends.
When does it come out?
Tuesday. Reset.
Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah.
I just hope we can get cookies, man.
I'm my PhD supervisor goes on Christmas holiday on the 19th, so I am planning on having a draft of everything done by the 19th. So either after the 19th, I'll be waiting for feedback.
What day is the 19th? What day is that?
It's a Saturday. I'm
just lining up when we're just going to massively get on the beers already.
So it's either next Sunday, I'll either, be mostly done.
Or just broken.
Or... Well, actually, and by that I mean like waiting for my entire thesis, 400 pages, whatever it's going to be, sent back to me covered in red marker, so I can quickly edit it before the 1st of January.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, we're getting caught up. Sorry.
No, that's fine. It's fine. It's the big part of your life at the moment. The other thing that was massive through the week, and admittedly, I haven't even fired a shot with the thing because it was never one of my favorite guns, but Hawkmoon is back. The quest. The quest was...
I've got a sample of it. Can I sample it for you? Is ready?
Yeah. Can you play it through the...
Yeah.
I didn't hear it. Oh, do it again.
You didn't hear it?
No, do it again.
We heard it.
Hold up.
Yeah, no, we heard it.
You did hear it?
And
yeah.
Again. And again. Do it again. Fucking Discord gated the shit out of it. I was like...
Yeah, Discord.
It sounded like a bird getting hit by a truck.
No, one more time.
There we go.
There you
go.
That's
it. There we go. Kaka. That's very on brand for you. Pigeon, Hawk, whatever.
Dude, the amount of tags I've had. I'm called Pijinnn on Twitter right now, by the way.
Beautiful.
Oh, nice.
So are you into it? You've been using it a bit, or like, because I mean, I have, as I said, I haven't fired a shot with it. Matt hasn't loaded up Destiny, so we need someone that can talk about fucking Hawkmoon. what's your
As
take
I
on
am
it, Pitch?
not in PvP, yes and no. I used it in PV. It was quite a lot of fun.
All right.
I love the sound effects. Like, for those that don't know, like I do sound design as part of my degree, and I sampled the Hawkmoon sound straight away. I was like, that's incredible what they've done with that. So
I think the quest itself, like, while obviously is always, all quests are bound by a little bit of boring fetch questy shit. There were some really cool moments in it going through the sort of dam side of the EDZ where the crow had been hanging out and seeing where he was taking his shit in a bucket. That was pretty good.
I seen a really cool thing on God forbid Reddit, and it was one of the original Destiny 1 sort of beta clips was the crow at the Cosmodrome, and he was standing like pointing his gun going, "Oh, you blah blah blah," and then see the exact spot he was standing in that clip. That's where they left the feather for the
So
cool.
DBS
For the
fucking
quest.
tweeted that out.
So it kind of went full circle from that that's a wee Easter egg for everybody in chat. Like that
go
you can go
check it
look
out.
up. I don't know if I can fetch a link for it, but I thought it was a really cool sort of like nod to their like pre-alpha sort of tests and stuff.
I think that like to some extent they've really put a lot of effort into Uldren and like bringing him back around and making him the crow, and like that was sort of like that was the concept of that character. It was then reimagined, and now they're kind of taking it back to what it was originally intended to be. I think it's quaint, and I think that like, dude, the lore that came out with that book. I mean, Maddie probably hasn't read it, but fuck me, we'll definitely
Which
get
book
to
is
that.
it?
The one about fucking Spider literally being the absolute dog shittest cunt of all time.
No, I haven't read it yet.
Oh, fuck. It explains some things. It's it'll make you angry. It made me angry, and I don't particularly like Uldren or the Crow or whatever. I'm not particularly invested. It still made me angry. So, but right, let's get back to the dawning.
But using Hawkmoon, I've heard Ace of Spades
Ace
is probably
Spades is still a better gun. Right, yeah.
It's still better because I guess you're waiting to proc on the last bullet, right?
I feel like Destiny in a way gets itself hamstrung in these situations. Hey, like they make fucking cool guns, but they're still just that little bit not as good as the ones that have been around for fucking forever. So they don't make enough. There's not a big enough splash there to really make.
Wait,
an impact.
wasn't original Hawkmoon a random bullet?
Yeah, it was two or three random bullets. And
but now is it just the final bullet?
Now it's like you stack it as you go through the barrel, and then like the last shot of the barrel.
It kind of rewards skill now rather than RNG. So if you're landing crits and getting kills in Crucible, that's going to stack up for you to get that final shot. So like it's like a playmaking gun. Like you're going to go in, you're going to go against maybe 2 or 3 people. You get the first one down, you get the second one down, and when you normally lose against the third player, you've actually souped up the Hawkmoon and you can maybe win that third like fight. That's the way I see it. It's like a playmaking gun for that sort of maneuver.
Yeah, very situational, kind of like in the hands of the right player, it'd be pretty devastating.
Talking about Go on.
Oh, sorry. Like the only other thing I was going to add, like a lot of people will try and like will have a wee sort of Hawkmoon mini game with themselves, but they like try to proc the last shot over and over again. But like, I think the intended way to use it is to just play with it, and if you get your paracausal shot, then good on you.
It's you get out of jail free card.
But there's no point in constantly going, right, I've got my supercharged bullet, whereas everybody. Nah, like I think that's the way to play with it as well. So
so I watched it's Cool Guy, isn't it? Cool Guy that does like the PvPs.
Yep.
And
okay.
I got the did I talk about this last week? The Arthritis' Embrace.
Arthritis' Embrace. I briefly remember talking about it momentarily, but go on.
So I did. Well, when you watch like these PvP videos, you're like, oh, great, I'm going to be a fucking god. Then you're like, okay, no, maybe not. But essentially you get a double bounce on your throwing knife, bottom tree gunslinger, which sounds like dog shit, but it basically is like a fucking homing missile on the second bounce and one-shot body shots.
Uh-huh.
So all you have to do is get, I think it's like if you get a burst from a pulse or something, you got to proc the weighted knife perk of your golden gun tree, which I think is like either 2 or 3 precision shots, and then it's procced, and then it gives you extra damage in throwing knives. And then you basically like throw it at a wall, like like I don't know, like Foursquare or some shit. Like you're playing,
like you're bouncing a fucking tennis ball into the ground off a wall and back to yourself. Yeah.
Yes, you throw at the base of a wall so it gets a second bounce, and it can do like 90-degree right. It just does right angles and tracks people.
That's
it's not you. I've seen actual hilarious clips. I saw a clip of someone running straight at someone. They flung the knife, flew past them. They were about to get the pick, and then it bounced back, came right
hit
back
him in the back
them,
of the head,
and that one move. I was like, no way. They're in their clip. They were just like, huh? And I was just like, you just got outplayed.
Yeah. So I still want to give that a bit more of a shot, but I just haven't had time to jump in and fuck around with it. But
yeah,
I like it.
All right. Let's close out on the Dawning because it's
okay.
The weapon for the Dawning. They've got a picture of the tower. It looks fucking incredible as always. I love the tower in events like this. It's just beautiful. There's a fusion rifle is the event weapon this time around. I don't give a shit about fusion rifles, but they draw attention to the fact that it has probably the greatest name of all time, Glacioclasm. It's up there. It looks cool. So if you're into that sort of thing, go for it. There's some pretty ships here. I'll pull this up. Pretty ship. Here's biker mice from Mars over here, just fucking fanging it along on some sparrows with some doilies on them or some shit.
Biker mice from Mars.
Is that a fucking flat out Bukaki
Can I just
ghost?
say, by the way,
what?
Can I just say, see if the fusion isn't elementally stasis, they've missed a beat. They've missed a beat with it.
I know, right? Because of the eyes.
I mean, it's not, but
why don't we have anything else stasis yet?
Well, we've got Salvation Script, but I think that it's probably. I mean, it just needs to be a burn, right? Like the rest of them. I think that's more than fair enough. I am concerned about. Well, there's a couple of implications here. This Bukaki ghost, I'm worried about that. And the OH&S safety of this fucking one that's just like literally wrapped in lights. That seems like a fucking hazard if ever there was one. So I don't feel like Bungie's really concerned about the welfare of ghosts, and I think that's something we need to raise with them. It's disgusting. I won't stand for it. And this one, I don't know what that it's meant. It looks like it's meant to have a hat, but it looks like more like something that would connect.
What
to
is
it.
that?
It looks like it would connect to the exhaust in your car, doesn't it?
Mate, it looks like you could put some weed in there and start smoking out of it.
It looks like
it's actually
a fucking teapot you could drink mojitos out of. You can take the ball unscrews at the end and then it's a fucking cleverly disguised hip flask. Beautiful.
It looks like a Cyberpunk 2077 fucking bong.
Rip one. And here's
let
another
rip.
ship. Let her rip. And all right, the other thing, here we go, we'll go back to that. They did buff Penumbral Blast. They did nerf it a couple of weeks back. They've increased projectile range by 37%. Minimum distance to cast ranged melee reduced by 32%, and this allows you to throw the ranged melee closer to targets. So, by all reports,
wait, what's this?
Well, you know how they nerfed the shit out of the stasis warlocks a couple of weeks. Yeah, they've brought them back up a little bit again. And by all reports, the boys that I run with that play on Warlocks, I will not name them to protect their identities. They said it's better. So there you go. I'm glad that they've done that. Games to Give is still live, still kicking. I think they we're well over $1 million now. So incredible in a week and a bit since we last spoke about it. Absolutely stoked to see our community getting out there and smashing the living shit out of all of this stuff. The rest of it is just rats and mice issues, bar one. There is one big issue that I want to talk about that was buried at the bottom end of the known issues tab in the player support section, and it says, "This true prophecy has been removed from the world loot pool. This is intentional."
Did you see why they did it?
I heard there was too much. I don't know. What have you heard? Because I've heard mixed things.
The thing I heard was they took it out to balance the loot pool availability. They say, like, as in there was too many hand cannons, yet there was only 120 archetype this season, and that's the steady hand, which is behind Iron Banner.
Yeah.
So it's like heavy controversial. They could have taken one of the other like more neglected hand cannons out, but they took away True Prophecy. And they could have taken away Nature Beasts, for example, or they could have not brought back the Seven Seraph hand cannon. There's like loads of ways they could have done it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm lucky because I've got a fucking really good roll on it and I can use it, but I feel for anyone because like that gun, in my opinion, is probably the meta right now. It's super fucking strong if you get a decent roll on it. And now they've removed people's ability to be able to go and get it. I mean, it was just a random drop, a world drop, I believe. I don't know, man. I feel like taking something out mid-season like this because to balance the loot pool when you are literally dumping fucking exotic hand cannons into this game like you've got them on a pallet out the back. Like, fucking calm down. Like, I don't know. Can we... look, as a community, can we just agree that no one wants any more exotic hand cannons ever? And we just want legendary ones across both slots that cover all the options. That's what we need, right? I don't know. It was fucking weird, and a lot of people are pissed off, and I think that's probably fair enough. I don't know. I feel like there's more to it. I feel like that's a very, very fucking flimsy excuse.
Yeah, it's pretty coy, man.
Yeah,
I feel like this improves my previous rant.
Yeah,
it's like how do you have an update about increasing the loot and then remove loot to balance the loot because there's not enough loot?
Yeah, there's too much of that. We'll give you.
And you know I'm fucking right, and that makes complete sense.
It makes sense. It's like, yeah, we heard we gave you too much loot, so we took away some of the loot because we gave you too much loot. Have fun with your loot that we've still got though.
Yeah, this gun, everyone's using this in PvP. We're gonna get rid of it. So now that only the people who are already using it in PvP can use it.
Like moved because it's moved into the meta as well. People will be even more frustrated if they didn't get one.
I reckon they'll bring
season.
it. I reckon inside 2 weeks it'll be back in the loot pool. I can't see this persisting.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like it's
people will be annoyed.
People will get fucking angry about it and they'll reverse it because I just don't see the rhyme or reason to it, right? Like. It's not like you can a gun that you can particularly farm for either. So, you know, it's not like everyone's getting a god roll on it and it becomes a really reductive meta in that sense. Yeah.
So they basically said that their issue was that it was dropping too frequently and not giving opportunity for other things to drop.
No, I mean that it was so dominant in the space that it was in that. I don't know. I mean, my read on it is that they were literally bringing in a hand cannon that was more or less the same but worse in Iron Banner, and they probably realized that no one would fucking use it because they've all got True Prophecies, or at least True Prophecy will be the one that they use once they get it. I don't know. It's just a really weird. I don't know. I'd love to be a fly on the wall, and because it's kind of unprecedented in a way. I mean, we've never really seen this kind of thing before, at least not to my memory. Maybe it's just like never been with guns that I particularly have cared about or whatever, but it feels like a very odd choice to go, nope, there is this one gun that we need to take out in a time of a skinny loot pool. Anyway, I think we've dwelled on that enough. There's a whole heap of other stuff in that player support list. If you want to go in and see if something you feel isn't quite right, go and double check there and see if there's a glitch or something. But look, what we might do, we might open chat up. Anyone's got any questions or comments or things they want to talk about, they can do so. Get involved and talk to your friends and all that sort of shit. But look, we're gonna give Lawboy a break this week because PH Demons have come in to get him. So he's got nothing prepared. But I will say that I went and read the Once Ship Stealer book, which I normally don't. I mean, I normally do read at some point. Like it takes for me to get really bored to go and read law books, but I did it. it's pretty fucking epic, sort of the rise of Eramis and all of that sort of stuff, and the backstory of all of the captains or the lieutenants that are under her on it was sort of through the Beyond Light campaign that are the ones that you're facing in the Empire hunts and whatnot. I feel like some really cool characters there, and I kind of feel bad that I've like killed them all now, and I didn't really appreciate them for what they were while they were alive, or while I was facing them. I
feel like there is, I don't know who it is, and I probably should tweet them and ask who it is. I feel like there is one specific writer at Bungie that did the Shax versus Felwinter scene, and probably also wrote this book as well, because it feels like a similar style where we just need more action scenes like that, man, where people getting ripped apart and fucking slammed and like
it's fucking nuts though that like they're talking about the Battle of Twilight Gap, right? And it's all from the perspective of the Fallen, and they're like, you know, going into battle and meeting up with their buddies, and we were destroying all of that, and then they're like, and then there was a flash of like there was all this light, and it was so bright, and I assume that that's where Osiris turns up and just fucking kills everyone. Just he's everywhere on the field.
It could be Anna Bay with a golden gun.
I think that there's a few sort of, it's open ended on purpose, but I don't know, that and like her just in the prison, just fighting people off in a gladiatorial combat thing and literally killing anyone they put against her. It's I don't know. I feel like this is the sort of, I feel like they could nearly, like if it didn't too heavily allude to like what was going to happen in content, that they could have released most of those like as a vignette or something before the content came out. So we could,
dude, but how much shit did we have already?
Oh no, it was fucking huge. But like to get to know the characters that you're going up against, I feel like you know, like, because now looking back on it, I'm like, oh, that was that guy, and I remember kick the shit out of him. Where if I'd known that at the time, I probably would have been more into it.
They need to make the Weblore in-game books that they release early. And because people don't always read Bungie.net.
And that's true, but I mean the most engaged.
And it's a whole bunch of work that just is forgotten. Yeah. Why not make it? Why not make it collectible unlocks in the game?
Why not just open up that back room in the tower after you go over the first bridge to the right? There was like the speaker's office, and just have a fucking library in there. You can just go in there and have a read with your mates, like have a cup of tea and just put the kettle on.
A lore room, a lore library,
a lore room, a lore library. Matt can just sit in there for forever and never leave.
Be well good.
I reckon it'd be great. All right, if there's anything you want to ask in chat, go for it. We'll get to it now. This has been good. We've covered some fucking ground here, and ground that I probably didn't really think we were going to. It's good. Right, but while we're doing this, Pidge, you haven't played Iron Banner because you've been you got the tap on the shoulder. Maddie, you played a little bit.
I'm going to speedrun it on Monday. Like any percent Iron Banner speedrun. Yeah.
I played it. However, I hadn't actually really played games since I spilled coffee on my keyboard, and I swapped keyboards out, and I couldn't tell whether it was my keyboard input, because it's actually different switches that I'm used to, or if it was lag. But I don't know if you said you had a lot of issues with freelance. I don't know.
It felt weird.
How bad it was.
Really
I only
weird.
played a cut. It felt odd, but I couldn't pick it, and I didn't know if it was just the keyboard I was using that was making it feel a bit weird. But I played a couple games of freelance. I got most of my pinnacles done, which was nice, because I didn't realize how fucking pinnacles are rough. If you don't raid, getting pinnacles is rough.
Yeah. You got to be getting in there and running the raid every week. I haven't raided yet this week. I plan on it, but.
You get one light level, but it's like,
yeah. I don't know. I mean, now obviously.
Whereas you do Iron Banner, like I got 3 pieces of gear that were all like,
straight out the gate. And all you got to do is really fucking play the game. It's not, there's no real effort in it. It's pretty easy. I think. So. I don't know. I like the idea of freelance. I like the intention of it. I think that like giving people a way to like soft enter something as potentially hostile as PvP is a good thing. But maybe it's just by virtue of being Australian and, you know, like connections and population and all that sort of stuff is a little bit harder to come by here. Those games were weird, and sort of once we put together a team and jumped into the regular Iron Banner playlist, it felt pretty normal again. I mean, that's obviously I play with people who are geographically relatively quite close to me, so maybe that's a factor. But
Hey,
yeah, I don't know.
let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Right? Since the changes to stasis and PvP, do you feel like stasis is still bullshit in PvP, or do you feel like it's pretty good? Because I feel like it's okay.
I feel
I
like
mean, I don't know.
they've really broadened the meta. I know I've not been PvP for a couple of weeks, but like when I was, everything felt really close to like a good line for everyone to use. The weapon game's the best it's ever been, in my opinion. Like everything's really close knit with your choices there.
Yep.
The weapons feel good.
The stasis was chaos on top of that, but I think they winded it in really good. And I like conspiracy theory. I think they had that poised and ready to go. I think they just unleashed full chaos, but they already had the wind it in factor on the by, so they could just go, right, cool. You think it's a bit too much, right? We already figured that. We've wound it back.
See, people
And
are
I think they put it in a good place.
people say still broken. I reckon I got frozen maybe twice in a match. And if I'm thinking, if I got frozen twice, that's not broken.
I think
Nah, it's not.
there's a couple of things that are still outliers. The magpie, the
I was gonna
Drewski
say, I
dunk,
think the
whatever
magpie fucking
the
swoop.
throwing down the ice wall and then slamming as a hunter when you can do that before like the ice wall has even appeared and fucking kill people. Like maybe that's networking, maybe it is what it is, but I feel like that is that they need to revisit that really, really quite severely. Because you're getting yourself into like it's kind of like you could nearly keybind that button combination and just fucking have a get out of jail free card button. Because like I don't know. I mean,
you can sort of.
I don't play that. I don't play a hunter. I don't know what it's like to do it, but I do when I hear like mates that I am playing with do it and then like compulsively break out laughing, going, "This is fucking stupid. This shouldn't be in the game." Then I start to go, well, maybe it does need a bit of
Yeah,
a
but
look.
it's still tied to your grenade cooldown, so it's not like you're fucking doing
Yeah, but
it.
people spec for you can directly spec for that and carry a fucking gun with demolitionist on it. You can
Yeah, but you've
so
also got
much
to get
reduce that.
you got to get close enough to get in your dive bombing range. You've got to hit your nade to freeze and press the right combination, the buttons to jump, and you got to jump, throw a grenade on target, and be in the correct range distance and dive bomb. Like it's not.
Yeah. It's a really fun way to play, even in PvE. Also, with my friend Sending Nomads in chat, he's got a name for it, and I'm trying to remember what it is, and it's totally bugging me. It's like the Winnable combo or something.
It's sassy.
The Drewski dunk, aka the something. There's a place in Canada, and I'm trying to remember. It starts with a W.
Winnipeg.
It's the Winnipeg Wombo.
Yeah, but it's just like 1v1 sassy. Yeah, but if you 1v1 sassy anything, you're gonna think everything's broken. Like you can't make changes based on the 1% of PvP players who are abusing the shit out of. It's like saying, well, it's unfair that Titans can fucking send themselves to the moon with an ice wall and have increased mobility doing that kind of shit. Well, it's like, well, not everyone's doing that though.
I think, look, my issue with it is that it's already become like if you spring a hunter and have the advantage, they can just go, oh, and fucking do that and they're okay.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's like a neutral game thing. Like, especially me being the guy who's shotgunning and that's the way I play. Like, to shotgun someone, you are basically putting yourself in the range for that kind of attack straight off the bat. And I think that maybe it's just my perception of it because I'm not out there doing it to people. I'm just copying it and going, what the fuck? But I think that it's probably a little bit over the top. But I do think that stasis is. I don't think it's. I'm gonna put it to you this way: I'm still shit scared of fucking Dongblade Warlocks, and I'll still run from a golden gun, and there's still plenty of stuff around that I'm just as concerned about as stasis. So I don't think that it's as broken as it kind of initially seemed. Anyway.
I'm in the look. I obviously want to get back into playing a bit more, but from the bits and pieces that I jumped into, I need to do. I gotta count how many times I get frozen in a match, because for the last time I did Iron Banner, I reckon it was probably twice. And if I died twice to being frozen, that's not a mechanic I feel like is broken. And I probably didn't even get magpied once. I understand though, if you're doing trials and you've got really strong mechanics like that,
Yeah.
that it changes your perception of it, because all you need is that one pick and then you can start snowballing off it. That's when it's going to be interesting. Because I feel like Magpie is fine in quick play, but I feel like if you do that, when you start putting it into like trials and you spring on a hunter and they just jump in the air, fucking,
and it's cheap.
There's no time to kill unless you hit a shotgun all your pellets, that you'll take them out. Because if they're up in the air, fucking wall grenade, magpie, boom. Like
the other thing is too, their hitbox goes super weird when they're in that thing. Like, good luck fucking shotgunning someone in that.
Oh, you can't hit them.
Shit.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't managed to. Maybe it's just me being a bad shot. That's also a possibility. So, take it with a grain of salt. But it feels very fucking difficult. It'd be nice though. Like, it's like the good old days of a Titan about to shoulder charge you and you just bang and fucking blow them away with a shotgun. I feel like there needs to be something, to that. You need to be able to counter this, and I think that's really what's lacking: the ability to just hard counter it. Oh, Jesus. I could go for another half hour, but I think we better look to wrap it up. We're all... Matt needs to get back to his studies and all that sort of stuff. Pidge, I want to thank you very much for staying up to bullshit o'clock at night to come on and have a chat. Where can people find you if they want to jump on and do so?
Sure. If you guys want to check me out on Twitter, it's /PIJINN_. And you can find me streaming on Twitch pretty much every other day, /Pijinnn. Come at me.
Come at me.
Come get the devil spawn of Mylan Games.
Come get Mylan Power Slave.
Mylan Power Slave.
Yuck.
I'm going to have nightmares about that. I'm going to have actual nightmares about that.
You are. I'm going to think about the mechanics of it. You're just the byproduct, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just here at this end of the chain.
You're going to have a fucking shower for the rest of my life. All right, well,
no, honestly, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate you.
We'll do it more often.
It's been a long time coming, honestly.
It's one of those things that we've definitely yarned about for a little while, and I don't know, this year has been a fucking super weird year, so I'm hoping that next year is everyone's a little bit more settled and we can get back to being a little bit more regimented about getting people on and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
We've been dealing with it a little bit hand to mouth, and for that we apologize. I think next week it'll be our last show for the year. We're going to do, I don't know, we'll dream up some kind of fucking bullshit Christmas special and make it fun. Probably drink alcohol from a teapot. I don't know. That may well happen.
I'll tell you this right fucking now, you listen up, you little shits. If I have submitted my final draft of the thesis to my supervisor by the 19th, which is a Saturday, I will be fucking smashing teapot mojitos throughout the whole podcast and yelling at everything, and it'll be absolutely a train wreck.
Not like every week.
Tune in. If it's not, it'll just be the usual train wreck.
Mojitos.
Matt, where will the law find people this week?
I don't give a fuck. I'm too busy.
All right, that's
I don't even. Do I even know you?
This could be an opportunity. I'm going to release a bunch of Scottish lore tapes this week and overtake the
quick, there's a gap in the market. Nail it. Get it.
Dude, if you guys want to get into the lore right now, there's a big gaping hole.
No, don't. I've seen what you go through for that shit. No thanks. All right, we'll see you next week. Cheers, Pidge. Fucking legend. We're going to go and raid Speakable Auto, one of my fucking favourite people in the world. He's doing raid help. One of the good TA boys. Jump in there and make some fucking noise and show him some love, because he'll absolutely return that love in like positive, uplifting raid coaching. So go and get on that. We'll see you next week, probably with a beer in hand. And until then, just, I don't know, don't listen to too many fucking Christmas carols. If shit to do your head in, all right? Especially if you work in retail. It's fucking bad for your lungs. All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.